Okay, so I have a question for you right now. So among all the players that have been featured, on the screen earlier, who is the number one worst signing so far?
Well, so far, I'm going to tell you it's going to be Havertz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
For me, it's Onana. I don't need to say
Really?
Self-explanatory. Onana.
Really?
Worst signing of the season
Really?
so far.
I beg to differ though. But, okay.
But in terms of who is probably going to overcome all these things, I think Onana also.
442 Dudes.
And this is the part where we welcome you to another episode of 442 Dudes. And I am Ben.
I'm John.
And we're the dudes behind 442.
Yep.
And of course, coming up next is what we call the 90 minutes off. You know the drill. We'll see you. Subscribe. Whoosh. And this is the part where we call 90 minutes of. Thank you for being impressed with my budget sound effect.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
And again, for those of you who just started following us, we're recording this all the way in a little part of Singapore where we call Tampines. Not Tampine, so Tampines. Now, speaking of which, and like how we're impressed with what Tampines has to offer, we want to know, and maybe your views, but we're going to share our views because that's what 90 minutes is all about. What are actually the top 5 most impressive or underperforming teams so far? Now, it's not we're not at the Christmas period yet, where usually that's a better gauge, but we kind of have an inkling of who has been impressing us so far.
That's right. I mean, we are probably 1 quarter into the season already, right? That's 1 quarter, done and dusted kind of stuff. So there were a few teams that definitely impressed. Definitely one team in particular kind of like over-exceeded everybody's expectations.
Okay.
And for me, I don't know about you yet, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I think that the team that impressed me, or rather impressed everybody the most, I believe it's Spurs.
No.
Yeah, I believe it's Spurs. Right. I mean, Ange Postecoglou. Oh my goodness, what a start to the season.
Yeah, what a start.
They are still, correct me if I'm wrong, they are still the only team that's undefeated
in the
so
EPL.
far. Yeah.
Wow.
I believe so.
Wow.
Spurs definitely. I think we were talking about how the departure of Harry Kane would definitely have a big impact on Spurs, and I think it did. In a positive way.
Yeah, actually, quite right.
And if you really think about it, right, Bayern is currently 3rd in the Bundesliga. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the memes and the comments that will come out?
It is the Harry Kane effect. If Spurs were to win.
Yes.
Okay. and Bayern doesn't end up winning.
Wow. Can you imagine the kind of that literally the Harry Kane effect? But for me,
hit himself.
There are 5 teams definitely. For me, Spurs number 1.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. And I believe, if you can see on the screen right now, I think these are the top, at least for the top, because besides Spurs, Villa has impressed. Brighton, obviously. Newcastle has been somewhat inconsistent, but generally they have been over-exceeding expectations as well. I think the chemistry between the front 3, Gordon, Isak, and Almiron has been fantastic. And you have backup like Harvey Barnes, you have Callum Wilson out there. It's been fantastic. I think these 4 teams definitely stand out for me. And the 5th team, I would say, it is a toss-up between Liverpool and Man City.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm just going with either or. To me, they're kind of similar. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think I do agree with you on that list over there on the screen. Absolutely spot on for everyone. I think Spurs, as we mentioned, they've been overperforming. I think
overperforming.
Yeah, I think they're overperforming because I think a lot of people.
What do you mean by overperforming?
And that's what I'm going to explain. I think a lot of people thought they were going to go down right after that exit. I can't remember if it's FA Cup or something, but they exited. They lost. So people thought, they're going to start losing again. But no, they actually just came back, and they started winning, started performing. And we talk a lot, over the different episodes that Song Heung-min has been pulling his strings properly as a captain as well. The teams have been getting up on it. Richarlison as well. So all these players where people are think, they're not going to perform well, the rubbish and all that. But they end up becoming players that stand out for Spurs. So yeah, I do agree Spurs do deserve to be on that list. Aston Villa as well. Unai Emery, Mr. Gude Iberning, did a wonderful job. Aston Villa wasn't doing well that much last season, but this season started a little bit rocky in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but they got themselves quite good now.
Alrighty.
They've been outscoring certain clubs, mid-team clubs as well. So Brighton also, I think, with regardless, what people say, whether they were selling their best players, they have been performing very, very well. And what's his name? Zerzi or something like that. I don't know now. Dizerbi. I think he will be the next Man City's manager.
Really?
Sooner or later. I think he has what it takes. So I do agree. Look, I mean, Newcastle, needless to say, they do deserve to be there. I think at the very start of the second season, first episode, I backed that up saying that they would be doing quite well. And regardless being in a so-called difficult Champions League draw, I think they're doing not too bad despite a loss.
Trashing PSG 4-1 for that matter.
Yeah. I mean,
well, they just lost to Borussia Dortmund again.
A little loss, but nevertheless, good call. But we have the underperforming teams.
Of course.
I'm not going to touch on City and Liverpool because I really do think they are.
I think we were done past, speaking about them.
To me, it's about the underperforming. And in the underperforming, disappointing to say, Chelsea has to be one of them.
Why?
I think not about the money we've spent, but I think the players or sort of the development that we want. Yes, it did take quite some time. Yes, money is there, but we've kind of bought the best of the best for every department.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No,
you bought the best of the best.
The best of the best.
You are putting a record
best
that
of the best.
Bought the best of the best.
They did. I'm still going to say they did buy the best of the best for in terms of being youth in each department. And I'm glad it's slowly working out. No, I'm really glad it's slowly working out. Cole Palmer, in my opinion, has just easily fit into the squad. Caicedo, which everybody is saying, he might be shit for now, but I think he's going to be good. And Thiago Silva, who I'm going to constantly say, he's going to turn 40 next year, but he looks like he's playing at his prime nevertheless. So, I think whatever it is, there is a hope that we can still climb up to the top 5. And going to Everton, Everton we said from the start, I remember we were saying who will go down, and I just reminded you, Everton's going to be one of them. And Everton's just, I wouldn't say underperforming lah. I expected them to underperform in the first place.
Of course.
Then you got Burnley and Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, Bournemouth. They're not impressing lah. They're just not impressing enough for me. I think they're struggling, and I think relegation is just in the sight lah. If they don't buck it up. Sheffield United, on the other hand, kind of surprised me.
Why?
I thought Sheffield United would do a little bit better.
What makes you think so?
I'll tell you, it was a 50-50 for me between Sheffield and Nottingham. I think these two.
Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, I thought they're underperforming. If you ask me, for the hype that they've been getting, I thought Nottingham would be performing a little bit better. Yeah, I'm just saying, because I think that dude who looks like he's always drinking every week, what's the manager name? Can't remember, but he looks like he's drinking every week lah. Okay, I thought they'll be performing better. But Sheffield United, no lah. You got to perform better, guys. This is the EPL after all. And then my 50-50 has to be either United and Luton Town. But I got to say, Luton Town, as it is, I don't want to say they're underperforming. They haven't been back for years. They have the hype.
Excuse me, did you just say they haven't been back for years? Exactly. This is the first time in the Premier League.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't, in top flight.
They have never been in the top flight.
Well, then I gotta say they have.
Hey, you got the history wrong, bro.
Then I gotta say, then they don't underperform. It's gonna be United's fault then.
So you're going with United for underperforming?
Yeah.
Well, you're not wrong. The teams that you mentioned, I think it's pretty much self-explanatory. But what I want to say is, regards to all the teams, is the Burnley. For a team that basically blew the championship away last season,
but it's a curse lah.
It's coming up. I honestly expected them to do much better than they are now, especially the signing of James Trafford.
But I'm telling you, it's a curse.
Why is it a curse?
Every time someone does well in the championship, they rarely do well in the EPL. I think it's a curse.
Newcastle did well.
Yeah, okay, but
Reading did well for a period of time. Sunderland did well when they came back up. When they won it. Yeah. Now Leicester is basically flying in the championship. They are on course to
then after they're going to come down the next
They are on course to break the record number of points in the championship, but which I think they will. But Leicester aside, looking back at the teams they've been underperforming, I think apart from Burnley, another team that I felt really, really underperformed is Manchester United for all the hype. They've replaced obviously Onana.
Yeah.
They replaced De Gea with Onana. They brought in Mason Mount.
Yeah.
They brought in Rasmus Højlund.
Also injured.
I expected a lot more. From United, and with Casemiro having a season or at least half a season under his belt, I expected them to do much better this time round.
Okay.
Right, but for whatever reasons, they are definitely underperforming. Well, it could be. I'm just guessing. I'm just making wild guesses here. I might be wrong. You might agree me. You might disagree me.
Yeah.
But I believe that something behind the scenes, whether it's in the Glazers, playing hardball, or Ten Hag not being a very good manager, or Sancho just being a bloody spoiled brat. I'm not sure whether these are the things that's
and spit it out.
I mean, Casemiro, there are rumors, right?
Yeah.
Articles that came out that Casemiro is right now saying he's regretting his move to Manchester United.
Don't bluff, really.
I'm not kidding.
Okay.
You have a look up the internet. There are articles and now they're writing exactly what I've just mentioned.
Okay.
So for a top player like Casemiro, who has won it all with Real Madrid and triple championship, for him to come and say this kind of things, I think it puts into perspective again what Ronaldo said about Old Trafford.
Okay.
The facilities and the things that's going on behind the scenes. So
now you're saying that, so when Ronaldo did that dramatic exit from Old Trafford, he did that dramatic interview with Piers Morgan.
Yep.
There were people that say, no lie, it's just you're a diva, you're a bloody bitch.
But I think he's been proven right.
But now you're saying
I think he's been proven right.
Okay.
I believe he's not someone that just want to go for the fame and everything. Probably, I mean, knowing him, he's a little bit on the egocentric side. But then again, I think he's not wrong in saying that, and I think it's starting to prove that he was probably right.
That his exposure of what's going on, the culture in Old Trafford is
not just
proven
right. It's not just Ronaldo though.
Okay.
Gary Neville has been very vocal about this as well. Because United.
I think Roy Keane also lah.
I mean, pretty much. Yeah. So if you ask me, among all the teams that we have kind of highlighted, or rather you have highlighted earlier, but which, who are underperforming, I think Manchester United has probably hit the list. Yes, they have won the give you games. I think Maguire and Onana, suddenly they're back to the hero, saving a penalty.
I'm telling you, it's the documentary.
I think so.
It is the documentary.
Hopefully.
No, you think about it. After the documentary, McTominay has been consecutively scoring, I believe. McTominay, not McTominay.
Okay, correct.
McTominay, what? Yeah. So McTominay, he stepped up. Maguire stepped up, which is a legend move, by the way. Onana stepped up with a penalty save. Although it seems like our dear friend here doesn't want to say that it's a good save, lah. But it's still safe.
I mean, it's a comfortable height. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to so that's all for the teams, right? Let's move on to players. So again, we're going to talk about our top 5 most impressive players. Probably the least impressive signings. So in terms of players, let's focus on signings instead, because I think there have been a lot of fantastic signings so far this season. In your opinion, Ben, who are the top 5?
I'm going to say this. I think, when I was playing FIFA, I like to use this guy a lot. And when he made the move, I didn't expect him to flourish.
Okay. And
I have
who is that?
trouble pronouncing his name all the time. Ward-Prowse.
Just Ward-Prowse.
Yeah, Ward-Prowse. Whatever his name is in front also, I forgot. But, I thought he was the... I think when he was much younger, not that he's very old, but when he was much younger, they touted him to be the next David Beckham. Because, the whole free kick thing, they were trying to say that, they needed a free kick specialist and he could emulate some of the stuff that Beckham did.
He has really overtaken Beckham in terms of...
but success-wise, it's still not there yet. But they were saying that, he was the second coming, but didn't really live up to the name. But I think this season, he has proven to be a quality signing.
Of course.
In my opinion. So I think he's easily at the top for me.
So among those players that you see on the screen right now, so among all these players, all of them, you think Ward-Prowse stands out as the most?
Number one.
Okay.
Yeah, I would throw in, even though we didn't put him there, but Bruno Guimaraes.
He's not a new signing.
No,
we're talking about new signings.
Yeah. I'm just trying to say that, he's been consistent for me. Yeah. But in terms of new signing for this season, then I gotta go with Ward-Prowse. Rice is it's okay. Your Liverpool guy that I cannot pronounce, Zibo Jalai.
His name is Dominic Szoboszlai.
Okay.
But for having said that, I think for Rice and Szoboszlai, so Szoboszlai definitely impressed. Not many people expect him
to fit into the league, is it?
To assimilate into the Liverpool team so soon, and performing so well.
Okay.
He's basically a Steven Gerrard regen. But that being said, I think for me, the person that impressed the most, I'm going to Spurs again, and it's James Maddison.
All right.
I think he's starting to show his true potential.
Okay.
I don't think
unlike when he was at Leicester.
Correct. He was definitely a good player at Leicester,
but better now.
I think he's truly, showing his true potential right now at Spurs, being one of the main. Granted, he was one of the main players at Leicester, right?
Well. Yeah.
But this is on a whole new different level. This is really on a whole new different level. And if you ask me, I think he should be on the starting 11 for England. I don't think Rashford should be inside.
So you're going to tell Southgate, what are you doing?
I mean, yeah, I would say that to Southgate. I mean, Maddison for me he has basically, I think I wouldn't say Son is the reason that Spurs are doing so well.
Okay, now you're going to say it's Maddison.
I would say Maddison is the one.
Wow.
Because if you think about it, right, in the past few seasons when Kane was around, he was basically the main source of the creativity. Kane had to drop very deep, to pump in those long balls in.
Yeah.
Right now you have Maddison. Maddison can do it all. He can pump in long ball. He's such a creative player. He's something that's crying. So many things are crying out for a player like him.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is doing that. And with his chemistry with Son, he's doing very well with Kulusevski on the right, with Richarlison's in as well.
And the Ange effect.
Yeah, the Ange effect as well. I think for me, Maddison.
Wow.
Number one, definitely. Having said that, we can see Rasmus Højlund on the list as well.
Yes,
I think
we do.
He has the potential to also
be
become
impressive.
One of the, if not the most impressive signing. Szoboszlai, I love his energy.
Yeah.
I love whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
But for me, I think Liverpool's style of play will affect him in the sense from a goal contribution point of view.
Okay.
I think Liverpool's style will affect him in this manner.
Okay.
But having said that, I still think
impressive.
that he will still be one of the, he's definitely one of the players to be. I mean, he's still being touted as one of the best signings. Yeah, so that was the most impressive. Now coming to the worst signing or the kind of stuff. What are your opinions?
Well, I think I'm a bit biased here, but I'm gonna say that Kai Havertz, you fool. Okay, anyway, ever since he moved to Arsenal, I mean, see lah. Move, go, go. I think it was a Kepa's wedding, or don't know. Then Jorginho was there, and they decided to talk about Arsenal. Okay, so you moved there, okay, but you're not doing so well. But okay, on a neutral point, I really don't think he has been doing well there.
Okay.
I mean, we expected a lot better. Another Chelsea one I want to throw is Mount, but I have to give him the benefit of doubt because of the injury he has. So we don't really see much of him. But anyway, when he was playing, we also don't see much of him. But now, Endo.
So who are you going to focus? You want to focus on Endo?
No, I'm just asking you now. I mean, because we went about Szoboszlai. What do you think about Endo? Because we have a thing for the Asian players.
Yeah.
And what do you think about Endo then? Because we had a lot of hopes for him when he came.
I think it's the wrong signing. As much as I love that we have a specialist number 6 and all, I don't know. It's just the whole vibe doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to fit. It's almost as if if I may use the illustration of a jigsaw puzzle. You're just forcing it in into this jigsaw.
Even though it doesn't fit lah.
Yeah, it kind of looks like
I get what you mean. Yeah,
at certain angles it looks like it fits, but at certain angles it actually doesn't really fit. So that's the feeling I get with Endo for Liverpool.
And you know what? I think that's nicely put, because I want to say the same thing for Sanchez.
Okay.
Because Sanchez who is a decent goalkeeper. But I think many a times when Chelsea plays, he is often at fault as well.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's not as unfortunate as Onana at times. But he doesn't seem to be very stable at the back. In fact, I dare to say this, I think even Kepa himself is much more stable. So Sanchez replacing Kepa, I don't feel safe there.
Okay.
I don't feel safe there. So I don't.
Okay, so I have a question for you now. So among all the players that have been featured, on the screen earlier, who is the number one worst signing so far?
Well, so far I'm going to tell you it's going to be Havertz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
for me, it's Onana. I don't need to say self-explanatory. Onana.
Really?
Worst signing of the season so far.
I beg to differ though.
But in terms of who is probably going to overcome all these things, I think Onana also.
Well, okay.
Really?
No, that's what I want to say.
Really?
I think Onana is going to be an impressive one.
So I know it's going to be. It sounds a little bit controversial, but
it's going to be the worst and the best.
I think for now, so far, he is the worst.
Yeah.
But I believe he is among them, the player that will definitely overcome.
I agree. That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
but he has to watch the documentary. That is, I tell you, when what is that Buta name Ten Hag has to do is to just show them the documentary. They're all going to start crossing like David Beckham. They're going to fight like David Beckham, and Man United is going to get top 3. No, I swear.
Okay.
It's a weird effect,
Enough.
I don't even support Man United, by the way. Yeah. But in any case, those were our reviews and analysis. If you also feel the same way, then let us know. And if you're a United fan, do you think the documentary helps? And otherwise, if you are a Liverpool fan, do you think that Endo for some reason cannot fit the puzzle? And if you're a fan like me from Chelsea, then do we really feel safe with Sanchez at the back? So yeah, that's our 90 minutes off. We will see you for the next one. If what we call, like an hour, is what we call What's What With... That sounded like Halloween special, the way he said it. But anyway,
it is Halloween soon.
Yeah, it is Halloween soon. So yeah, we'll see you next for our What's What With Who's Who. Welcome back to What's What With Who's Who. And this is the part where he like blowing the thing. This is the part where we share with you current interesting happenings in the world of football. And so we like to dive in because we talk about the impressive one, we talk about the worst one, but then now we talk about the confused one, which is Everton. I tell you, Everton has no idea where they are, and they recently faced something that might get them into deeper shit, which is over a FFP rule breach, or rather breaches. And because of that, they have, it is bold, record-breaking points deduction.
They are actually on course for a 12-point deduction.
Relegation already.
If I'm not wrong, right? There was one episode last season that we spoke about this.
Yeah, we did.
They were actually kind of like the whistleblower came from one of the team managers. I think it was I can't remember which team.
Yeah.
So one of the chairmen actually whistleblowed about Everton's FFP, the accounts and everything, and then they actually went and do an investigation, and it seems as if the investigation has been completed. At least that's what it seems.
Yeah, it does
and they are on course to have a 12-point deduction. Now, here's what I feel.
Okay.
What about Man City?
Yeah, exactly.
Manchester City has a total of 115 charges of FFP breaches. But so far, to date,
nothing.
It's been almost 5 years. 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. You wanted to say the F word.
Yes,
yeah,
I really wanted to curse. But it's been 5 years, but nothing has been done. No points deduction. No. I think there was a fine and anything, but if anything,
they were still champions after champion, and
it's bullshit, isn't it? It's really bullshit. As much as I hate Everton, obviously being a Liverpool,
yeah.
But I think this is quite ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, again, we've been talking about consistency, week after week. Hey,
where's the consistency in this?
Where is it?
Where is it?
I mean, it's bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then Everton as good as gone. I mean, it seems like it's...
Well, if the verdict is going to be that way, they are going to be gone. It seems like a
done deal, but come on. I mean, if Everton really has points deducted, I think everybody's going to jump on Man City's train.
I think that's what I think. Say as well.
So they're really going to open a can of worms, and I really think if the FA have to really seriously consider this, because there's going to be a lot of impact, and the impact is going to be huge. Yeah, because we are talking about the English Premier League over here.
Yep.
We're talking about the best league in the world. We're talking about one of the most highest profile players that's being involved over here. So if Everton gets relegated
because of the whole breach, then
whoa.
Yeah.
This is going to be very interesting from now on.
And then I'm pretty sure, they're going to counter and say, oh, then what about, like what you say, Man City.
Exactly. I don't know. Maybe you guys, maybe people who are familiar with all this FFP ruling and everything, please let us know.
Yeah.
Please let us know. All right?
I mean, again, for those of you who have your own thoughts as well, please do feel free to share with us, message us, drop it on the YouTube channel as well. Let us know how you feel about this whole saga surrounding Everton. And despite him, having this Merseyside rival, it's nothing to do with that. It's about where is the fairness in it,
Exactly.
So
it's disgusting.
So let us know.
Yeah, so let's move away from Everton. I
Okay.
think the next topic that we want to talk about it's something that's very, very sad.
Yeah.
It actually hit me a little bit.
Oh, is it?
No, I mean everybody knows I'm a Liverpool fan and all, but
we know.
I am first and foremost a football fan. You know, I love football.
Yeah.
And you know, in the past week, we received very, very, very sad news that Bobby Charlton has passed on due to old age.
Yep.
And why it hit me so hard is because when I first watched football,
was he playing?
I mean, obviously he wasn't playing. I'm not that old, right? But
no, just testing.
But I did read up on the history of football. I did read up a lot about the teams of the past.
Okay.
And Bobby Charlton's name is always among those always popping up.
Yeah.
And you talk about the legends of the past, you know, people always talk about Maradona, talk about Pele. But Bobby Charlton is actually one of the pioneers of, I would say pioneer, because he's probably one of those players that actually kind of paved the way for how football is today. In terms of the stature of football, and how big the game is on a global level. Bobby Charlton was one of those that really paved the way.
Right.
And he's actually, if I'm not wrong, he's probably, there's only a few of them who are still alive today. And I'm talking about the England 1966 World Cup winners.
Yeah.
I believe he is one of the last few who was alive in recent years.
Wow.
And, you know, the things that he's done for the game, not just for Manchester United, not just for England, but the things he's done for the game. After he retired, he was such an ambassador for United. He was a fantastic ambassador. The success in the 90s, you know, with Sir Alex Ferguson and all, Bobby Charlton was always there. If you read about what Neville said, what Beckham said, what Roy Keane said, he has always been very much involved.
Yeah.
I mean, and when we watch the games on TV, you know, he's always in the stands. He's always supporting them. And he's the kind of person that he doesn't need to speak much. His presence alone can inspire you.
The aura.
Exactly. We need people like that. I think that in the modern game, I don't think there are a lot of people with this kind of aura. Ferguson probably, I would say, still has it.
But, you know, retired.
You know, but even then, you know,
but
I
then,
believe,
yes.
Yeah. But so to me, Bobby Charlton was someone that represents one of the reasons why I actually followed football.
Wow.
Even more familiar, wanting to understand football even more. He is definitely one of the reasons why. And especially on history, I read up a lot about the 1958 Munich air crash. How they actually came, they came together to support one another. You know, despite losing all their teammates and all. So yeah, I don't know. It kind of hit me hard because I love football. Yeah. Right. So. Yeah, I cannot imagine. I think I mentioned to some people as well. If I can feel so much for Sir Bobby right now, I don't want to say anything else. Yeah. But there is someone in the game which I think everybody agrees is really a legend and probably the reason why a lot of us are following football in the first place. Yeah. This person is not much younger than Sir Bobby.
Okay.
I can't imagine the day that he passes on.
Right.
I really do not know how I feel.
Right.
Because I mean...
I mean, you know, to just touch on what you said, I mean, these are figures, again, you know, that transcends beyond the club loyalties that we have.
Of course.
I think these figures, you know, they've been quite prominent in the work they've done, again, on field, off field, and they have somehow, you know, and I do agree with you, I think even though it has been so many years, you know, and I watch football much later than you, I am aware of his presence, I'm aware of what he has done, but of course not as much of a history as you, but I'm aware of him. And so that goes to show, you know, that the legacy that he has carried around, and yeah, you know, I think rightfully so deserve to be knighted.
Of course.
Yeah, so I think that was I would say, and I do agree with you. I think these people, you know, including Sir Bobby Charlton, has made this legacy in football. And I think we have, well, hopefully we have more of such players, or in fact more of such managers, or more of such staff that will continue to do the same thing. Because we never know what goes on behind the scenes as well. So I think, you know, we like to do this little tribute here from the 442 dudes to Sir Bobby Charlton, who we deem to be probably England's finest ambassador.
Definitely.
So yeah. So that's our little tribute to Sir Bobby Charlton. Now we talk about legacy, and today in this football era, you know, there are a lot of not just legacies but controversies, and I think we've talked about this many times, got frustrated of it many times. And have sort of tried to share our own ideas on how it can either be improved or maybe it should be abolished in the first place.
Yep.
And that's none other than the VAR. VAR. I mean, John, I think you look ready. You know, you're getting this fighter
No, I
position.
I just have a few words to say.
Okay, let's go.
Let's just scrap it all. Full stop.
Let's scrap it all.
Let's just scrap VAR once and for all. Full stop.
Okay,
that's
all. No, we're gonna say scrap VAR once and for all, and I'm gonna agree with John on this instance as well. I think it has been stopping football momentum in all sorts of very odd reason, and I think let's just give the officials the time to officiate the match, and a little error wouldn't hurt. That's just from me. A little error wouldn't hurt.
Yep.
Yeah, instead of all the stupid. I'm saying this because of the handball incident recently. Yeah, with whole Chelsea and whatnot. But I'm gonna say that the handball thing is, I think it's stupid lah. Because sometimes, and I can't remember who was it. I really cannot remember which pundit was the one that raised it. But when you're gonna jump, your hands are obviously gonna help to balance your body. And I agree there wholeheartedly. So you know what? Scrap VAR lah. Bye-bye VAR. So yeah. That is our take. So we're going to say bye-bye VAR. You've come and go. It's not been 10 years. I think it's been shorter than that. But we think you are no-go. So bye-bye. That's all we can say.
Yeah, so that wraps up our episode on another episode on 442 Dudes. We'll catch you guys next week.
We will catch you on the next one. And hopefully by the next one, goodbye, VR.
Yeah. So remember to continue to subscribe, share, and like.
And don't forget, brought to you by CCB TV.